And it is tea time with Kittylicious, episode 6 with Spiritdonut. Hey! Hi!
That
Welcome!
was a jam.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's a banger, as they say. Hello!
I
Welcome!
love that.
Welcome to the podcast!
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yay! And I was thinking, as I always ask my guests, I will give you a chance to introduce yourself for the viewers.
Okay, hello guys. My name is Spiritdonut. I like to play spooky scaly games on Twitch. So Kittylicious and we have played Dead by Daylight. I've also played like Outlast and Amnesia and Alien Isolation, and Phasmophobia is my current obsession. So
Yes, and then I usually try to say how we met each other. And I think you found me in this case.
I found you because you posted on Reddit. Like I was
Yeah.
big in the girl gamers and the girl streamers Reddits, and I think you posted, you're like, hey, I like to help like new people, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a new people, I need help. I fit both of those things. So I came by your channel and it's been love ever since.
Yeah, I know. It was really lovely. And you, normally I have this rule when I have streamers on the podcast that they've needed to stream for a year consecutively. But you're the exception to that rule. I will probably have other exceptions in the future.
I'm the exception.
Yes, but that was also because I realized that you weren't just the only one that started streaming during the pandemic, and I thought it would be really interesting to have an episode with people, with someone at least that has that kind of experience, because there are a lot of people in the same boat as you right now with a similar story, and I think that could be really interesting and have some streamers relate to that. So
I'm happy to talk.
So when the pandemic struck, and you didn't lose your job, right?
No. So the pandemic, so I work in live events, which, yeah. So when it hit where I am in March, and then everything got canceled.
Yeah.
Like all of the events we were supposed to have. So we just kind of went into like a coasting mode, I guess, where we were just like, what do we do? Like we can't obviously have live events. So I was furloughed in May. So I was furloughed, which means I didn't lose my job, but for 3 months I was not getting paid and I was not working. But I got to keep my benefits. So
woo! At least something.
So that's when I started streaming, was May, when I started the furlough.
Yeah. What made you choose streaming out of all the available hobbies that there were?
I have always wanted to stream, honestly. I bought a capture card 3 years ago when I was playing on my PlayStation.
Ooh.
And I downloaded Streamlabs and I did all the things, but my laptop couldn't handle it. So then I kind of put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
But I grew up playing video games. I played it with my dad, with my siblings. And I don't know, I've always loved gaming. And it's always been a very solitary thing for me. I'm playing by myself most of the time. And I was like, well, I want to talk to people. I want to have friends when I play games.
Yeah, so it was
that's kind of where streaming came in.
So it was the social aspect of it all that kind of felt you drawn to the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not good at games. I don't have anything I need to show off to people, but I like, talking. And I'd be playing Overwatch by myself and I wouldn't talk to the team. And I'm like, man, I'm not good at this game. I want to play with people so we can talk. And so yeah, just connecting with people.
Yeah, and something that I've seen that you have been really, really good at is talking to people off stream also. You have already made an amazing community. You have made a lot of new friends, and it's how...
It's so sweet.
Yeah, and you're working with marketing, right? Do you feel that has helped you also, knowing how to network and stuff like that?
I think it definitely has. And just a quick note about the crazy community that I have. I had a real life friend join us for Among Us last week when we were getting a little janky stream.
Yeah.
And I saw him yesterday and he was like, hold on, how did you do that? Everyone was so nice and wholesome. How did you get this group of gamers who are so nice? And I was like, I don't know. But so I just think that's absolutely wild. Everyone who hangs out with me on Twitch. But no, I think it did definitely help. I know like, just from marketing, like, working in it, I know that
Yeah.
you're not really gonna have people show up to your events if you don't promote
Yeah,
yourself, so you're
exactly.
not gonna have people show to your channel if you don't, like, try to get out there, and, like, I've
Yeah.
kind of just done minimal stuff. I post on Reddit, Twitter, sometimes Instagram when I remember it.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as, like, I guess the networking part of it, I feel like when I was starting up, I read a bunch of things that said how important networking was,
Yeah.
and I didn't really know anyone at the time who was streaming, and so when someone like you offered
Yeah.
to help, like, newbies, I was like, "Yes, a friend." So, yeah, I just kinda try to chat with people and see if they wanna game together, and
Yeah.
I
And it's
think
been
it's
going
helped.
really well. And I think, like, as you said about your community and stuff, something that we touch on a lot in this episode is how to get the good people in there. And it's usually like, if you as a streamer is like a
Mhm.
wholesome individual, those kind of viewers are gonna want to stick around. Have you
Yay!
had to do a lot of strict moderation in your chat, or has the chat kind of moderated
Um,
itself?
let me move my headphones. I just realized I put them on
Okay,
backwards.
okay.
I was like, "Why is the cord on the other end?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's supposed to be on this side." I honestly I haven't had to do that much moderating, which is, like, blows my mind because you
Yeah,
hear it so often, like, how much female streamers especially get, like, heckled in chat, and I know a lot of people who have had bad experiences, like, they said it's their first day streaming and they had just awful people in their
yeah,
chat. So I feel very fortunate that I have not had that experience. I've only had to ban, like, 2 people, and that was taken care of fast. I
yeah,
So no, I do have a few moderators that I know, like, they were just close friends, and I, have added, like, 1 or 2 more on because I see them in chat all the time, and I know that they're also good people. So it was like,
oh,
"Hey, do you wanna be a mod?
yeah.
Can you
That's so
help me?"
nice.
So no, honestly, the most that I get, is like, "Do you wanna be famous? Well, you can buy
Oh
followers and
yeah,
likes
my
here." And I'm like,
favorite bot
"Okay."
friends. I'm like, yeah, I usually just tell them, no,
Like,
I don't want to be famous. Go away.
at least switch the message up a little bit. I mean, get a
Yeah,
little creative, like, reel us in, and then but no, so chat has also kinda self-moderated itself
yeah,
mostly, like, everyone who's in this stream is always, like, really chill, like, good people,
yeah,
and but we don't get too many in there, which is I'm very thankful for that.
yeah. And I think like your Discord too is very very nice. It's very very active too. And like even I
Yay!
learned a couple of things or two from your Discord, like how
Yay! It's
how to
working.
like you do this really smart thing. When you have a channel, you also have a little emoji first. So it
Yeah!
looks a lot more colorful and a lot more friendly, and I was like, man, why don't I do that? So,
I
so I
I
started
don't
doing
know
that
anything
too.
about Discord. You
Well,
did it too?
yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but I took that,
Yes.
and you also inspired me with your channel points because you were like really really active with that. It
Oh,
was like a lot of
I
activity.
love
I
channel
remember when
points.
we were playing Dead by Daylight, and you were like, sorry, I couldn't talk. I was chugging some water, and I was like, what the hell? Okay.
No, so when I got really more into Twitch as a viewer, I think when I
Yeah.
got Dead by Daylight, so last year, and then I remember, like, I just watched a bunch of, like, bigger streamers, and I was like, "Man, I want to interact and I want
Mhm.
to do things, but I am not a sub like, I don't wanna, like, do it in money, like, I wanna just do something free and have
Yeah.
fun," and so
Exactly.
that way, I'm always, like, trying to think of, like, what would be something fun for free that chat can do, like, because I don't
Yeah.
wanna punish them by not being able to, like,
No, of
subscribe,
course.
like no, so I love the channel points, and I love
Yeah.
the emojis on Discord. I had to watch a YouTube video on how to do Discord. I do not understand Discord, but
but
YouTube
but that's
was a
good
help.
too that you learn how to do it yourself and not just
Mm.
rely on others, because that's like my biggest like advice to people also when they start to
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just gonna start streaming, can you help me with Streamlabs? I'm like, no, you need to learn this because one day when you're
Google.
streaming it's gonna break and you will not know how to fix it. Same
Mhm.
with like how you add emotes and stuff. Yesterday I was like, since I know how to do it, I could just like blah 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 blah, here's a new emote, let's go. And so I
Nice.
think it's really good that you were like, oh, I looked up a guide how to fix this. Because that's like, it's one thing to ask others how to do things, but in the
Yeah.
end, it's so important as a new streamer to learn how to do things yourself too.
Mhm. No, I like to make sure, like, even if I'm starting a project, like a new project, like starting
Yeah.
off streaming, I'm like, I wanna make sure I have everything looking nice and sleek. I want it to be good. I've gotta
Yeah.
know how to do it. So I Googled so many things.
Yeah, I think
So
it's so
many
cool.
nail switches.
You seem really well prepared. So I was wondering, like, what other things did you keep in mind before you started?
Worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Oh my gosh. When I started, I knew I wanted to play scaly games because that's
Yeah,
always been like my niche. Like I just freaking love getting scaly in games.
yeah,
So though I don't know, there was just a bunch of stuff I Googled, like try to figure out how to do. Like I knew channel points was a thing, but I didn't know you couldn't do that till you hit affiliate.
yeah,
And I was Googling like, how do you hit affiliate? Like, what is that? And I don't know. I just kind of looked at a bunch of behind the scenes things, I guess, like sound alerts. So, where you put bits and then
yeah,
you get jump scared because I wanted to get jump scared. Like, I wanted to have that option for people.
yeah. That's also
And,
something I learned from you. Sorry.
and yes, it's working.
Yeah,
And then, like closed captioning. So I've got one of my youngest sisters, she's learning American Sign Language. So she
yeah,
really kind of put that in my mind that like there's a lot of people out there who may want to watch but can't really hear as well. So
yeah,
there's a widget for closed captioning for anyone who may have trouble listening or like hearing. And yeah, I just kind of Googled a bunch of things like
yeah,
Streamlabs versus the other one, Stream Elements,
yeah,
and how do I get little animated scenes?
yeah.
But
Exactly. But I
it
guess
was mostly just setting it up.
yeah, because your stream looks really professional. There's a lot of fun stuff there. Like even me, like I've been streaming for almost 2 years, and I've like been able to be like, oh, she's doing this thing. I can do that too. Like I'm just happy that I can learn from others too. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
that's why I like doing streaming
Oh,
too. There's so much to learn all the time.
I love like going by new people's channels and I see something they have and I'm like, I want that.
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
definitely have stolen some
Yeah,
channel point redemptions from people. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Like, oh, let's do that.
yeah. And I used to feel bad about stuff like that in the past because
Oh
I'm
no.
a bit old. Oh wait, how old are you?
28.
Okay, because you look so like I have this thing where I look
The
super
baby
young,
face.
but you look even younger. I thought you were like 18 or something.
I
Well,
I get ID'd trying to buy movie tickets.
yeah,
Like, I just want to go see like a rated R movie, and they're like, let me see an ID,
yeah.
please. And it's like, I'm 28.
Come on, dude. So I was gonna think like, oh, maybe it's like an age thing. I don't know because I feel no. I think it's a Swedish thing rather. I feel really
Hmm.
bad if I like steal something from someone
Uh-oh.
because
Yeah.
here it's like I think I talked about this when I was talking to either Kate or Pancake last episode.
Hmm.
That I feel like if you're good enough, someone is gonna find you, and like
Hmm.
if you're good, well, then a success will follow. But it's not kind of like that, you know. You have to make sure that
Hmm.
you get seen, and there is no shame
Yeah.
in like borrowing stuff that work from other people, you know.
Yeah. No, and I don't think it's really, I wouldn't even call it stealing. Like,
Yeah,
you're just seeing something that works on another channel. Like, if it's like stealing the all it work, then yeah, that's bad.
yeah, that's
Like,
bad,
give them
obviously.
credit. But if it's, I think, that's a big part of streaming is you've got to learn and like you're continuing to learn and continuing to grow. And the
Yeah,
only way you're going to do that is by watching streamers you like and kind of analyzing, like, okay, why do I like this
yeah,
person? What are they doing that's drawing me in? And how can I replicate that?
yeah. And something
So,
I've
no.
also noticed is there's a lot of like support for female streamers with discords and everything, and I think
Love
that's so
it.
nice because just a couple of years ago people weren't really supportive to other streamers. It was like a big
Really?
no to self-advertise. It was like it was everyone for themselves. Like if you went to someone's chat and said like, oh, I also stream, you got fucking banned. Nowadays it's like
Oh, really?
yeah, but it was kind of like that.
Oh,
um
no.
but nowadays it's like it's really supportive, everyone is helping each other, and I really really like that. Have you noticed that you've gotten like a lot of support from other female streamers, like
Oh,
not just
yeah.
me
I'm
obviously?
I'm in like a Facebook group for female streamers. I'm in Discord groups for them. My whole thing is like I feel like maybe this is my experience, but I
Yeah,
feel like when you're younger and you're growing up, and I'm gonna get on a little bit of a soapbox.
yeah, do
I feel
it.
like as a woman, like as a girl, when you grow up, you're kind of pitted against other girls.
Yeah,
You're not. It, it's more of like everything's a challenge. Like, oh, you want to be the one that's better than her. Like, and then I've
yeah,
realized in the past like 10 years that I don't want to compete against other
no,
women. I want to help uplift them and
yeah,
support them. And so I think that's kind of a big thing that's happened in the world. I think a lot of people are also kind of trying to change into that mentality. So I love the support that Like, I'm like, you're also a girl streamer? Like, yes, like, let's talk, let's hang out. No, and I try to go out of my way to, like, look for, like, female streamers and, like,
Yeah.
try to be in their chat more and help
Yeah.
self-moderate their chat in case anything happens.
Yeah. I've done similar things too, and I think it's so cool that
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I see some of me in you too, and it's really sweet. I love it. So I was thinking like, sorry, I keep jumping between different subjects, and I think that's also
All
because
good.
I've like talked to you in the past, so I don't get as strict. But I was thinking like Instagram stuff.
Yes.
Because something I feel bad about is Instagramming, because I did a mistake and I don't have a stream account. So I have like my normal person account there. So I feel really bad when I advertise, because
yeah.
then I'm like, I'm worried that my friends are gonna get sick of it, and maybe they like to just keep an eye on me, and if I start to stream stuff, they will be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But I also think like you use a lot of hashtags. And I think that's
I do a lot.
like, for me, I think it's really cool that you do it, but for me it's just so daunting, because it's a Swedish thing again. I'm like, don't pretend that you're something. But has it worked well? Like, you get a lot of likes on your pictures, so it seems to work.
I also feel weird with Instagram. So I have my own personal like Instagram account, and I have a streaming Instagram account, and I hardly post at all on my personal Instagram. So I really only post on my streaming one now, and the only like, and I also feel weird posting a bunch of hashtags. I'm like, someone's gonna see this, like gonna go, oh, she's just like trying to get engagement. Like it's, but at the same time, like the only way you really get found on Instagram is through the hashtags. Like,
exactly.
That's why I use so much. And I'm like, oh, it's
like you should,
it's
because
fine,
it's
donut.
also,
like just use the hashtags.
But it's sorry.
Yeah, I don't know that I've gotten anyone come in and say like, oh, I found you on Instagram, but I have met a lot of like I do go through the hashtags, and so I've met some like mutual people on there. Like I think I've seen them like on stream before, so I'll follow them and they'll follow me back, which is always sweet. But I don't know. I think it just helps. But then it's also weird that like I don't know if I should be posting photos of myself, if I should be posting photos of gameplay, like. So social media is weird.
Yeah.
Social media is weird. I don't know if I've cracked the code to it, but I don't know. It goes along with that thing about promoting yourself, is that if you just stream, no one's gonna find you. Like you need to share it on like Instagram as well. And
yeah, exactly. And like you work with marketing, like you know this stuff. So that's also
my day job.
Like, yeah, I'm like, well, then it's probably a good thing, because she works with marketing and she can market herself. Like, do you think it's how different is it to market yourself versus like marketing an event?
Oh, like a live event. Honestly, it's just it just feels weird. It feels weird marketing myself. Like I don't like to talk about myself a lot. I don't like to like it feels like I'm bragging about things, and I'm like, no, I'm just like like, oh my god, it was mortifying. So it, like the first 2 months I think I was streaming, I was making a collage to post on Instagram, like my reaction to the big Last of Us Part 2 scene.
Oh, I remember that.
And I hit a key. I had a key binding to go live.
Yes, I remember this. Sorry.
And I went live for 20 minutes. And people were just seeing me like screenshot like my face in a scene and then go paste it into Paint and for 20 minutes. And then so I feel really doing that by myself, like without the camera going, because promoting. And then as soon as it went, like I saw it went live, I was like, oh my god, no, they're gonna think I'm vain.
No.
It was very embarrassing. So if I would be doing something like that for work, I feel like it would be fine. But like I think the biggest difference is just feeling embarrassed that like I'm just talking about myself and I'm like taking all these selfies but no, it's actually, I think it's actually pretty similar, because with events, you're trying to get people to buy a ticket and like actually come to the event. It's a little easier, like just promoting your channel, because you're just trying to get people to click a link.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's actually too different. I mean, if I had a bit of a budget though that I could use to like promote myself, that'd be nice. But
yeah,
I don't have a budget.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of cool, because now it's getting into another thing, is kind of like starting to see your stream as not just like something you sit and do. It's not just a hobby. It's also something that you can market, and you should.
Like if you can't, like like, I've got people asking me like, "Oh, do you think you'll try to make it big on Twitch? Like, will you try to, like, make this your job?" And I'm like, I think it's really fun. I think it's a
Yeah.
great hobby. And if you can make some money on the side while doing it, like, why not?
Yeah.
And then, like, try to put that back into your stream and try
Yeah.
to
Oh my god.
elevate it, but
Actually, that's something we can talk about because that is
oh.
something I think is super important too. Everything
Mhm.
I've made on streaming has always gone back to the stream, either with
Mhm.
equipment or games or whatever, emotes,
Yeah.
art, whatever. And I think that's important also for newer streamers to understand that anything you
Mhm.
make here, you should just put back into the stream. Like, it would
Yeah.
take a like right now, I'm not even making enough to pay rent from Twitch. I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
so I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I just put it back into the stream, and it's really like it's a nice little thing. But it isn't
Mhm.
like if I get a Twitch paycheck, I'm not like, oh, I can finally buy food because
Yeah.
I don't use it for food. I only use it for other stream things.
I bought a mic stand, and I got some
Ooh.
games, and I was like, "Yay! Thank you, guys."
Yeah, because it feels so
Oh.
nice to like because then the
Mhm.
community also gets to see like when I got a new cam, I was like, hey guys, you guys kind of bought this. They're like, yay, we can see you
Aw.
better now. Dude, you should see my old
My
cam.
impact.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so it was like a big upgrade, and it was thanks to the
Yeah.
community and stuff. And I think that was really
Mm.
sweet and a good thing to like consider and think
Mhm.
about where the money is gonna go. And like
Yeah.
right now, I'm doing a donation thing for my birthday, so I can get like a better
Which is
cam and
tomorrow,
camera.
right?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't want to
Okay.
advertise. I just meant that. Yeah,
No,
so
go
you
for
can
it.
set up your own goals for what kind of new stuff you want to buy. Like, I should
Mhm.
get a new mic, obviously. I'm one of those that still uses these things, but it works, you know? What kind of mic do you use, and did you have it, like, before you started streaming, or?
So I used to use this headset one,
Yeah.
that I got a couple of years ago. So it's like an older one. I used it
Yeah.
to game on my PlayStation, but I'm using a Blue Snowball
Ooh.
mic. So I used to have a podcast too, like 2
Oh, you
years
did?
ago.
Oh, that's so
Like 2
cool.
years ago, and then, I just
What
I
was it
couldn't keep
called?
up. It was called Lighting Myself on Fire.
Ooh.
It was between me and one of my really good friends. We both wanted to kind of like what we talked about earlier, we wanted to elevate other women to share their
Yeah.
experiences that, like, we may not have experienced ourselves or we'd never get to hear about, and so we just kinda interviewed people. But it just got I couldn't I got really busy, and I couldn't devote the time to, like, these heavy subjects, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It
But
was
no,
a
so I
bit
still
too
have the
much.
mic from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's really
comes in handy.
nice. Okay. Now I was gonna also ask, like, what made you decide on going into the horror game genre?
Oh, just freaking love it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what it like I remember the first game I think I ever played was, like, Duke Nukem, the, like, 90s version, and they've got it's like aliens, and I loved playing that one, and so I think that game might have kicked it off, and then there was this game called Painkiller I used to play. It was also some, like, random 90s game my dad found, and I don't know, I love spooky movies. I love jumping, you know, because right after
Yeah.
you jump, like,
Yeah.
it's all you it usually is followed by laughter, right? You know,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
jump and you go like, "Oh my god, I'm still here." Like, it's just like an adrenaline rush, I think, and just love the feeling that you're still alive, and then that little laugh when you come back. You're like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, it's just a game. I'm okay."
Do you feel like sticking to a genre has helped your growth?
Um, I think it might help just in case there's anyone new who comes in, they know what I do. Like, I do,
Yeah.
like, kinda go I do add a little bit of variety. I will put in some,
Yeah.
like, silly games every once in a while. But I don't know, like, I think it just helps kinda put me in a box, and, like, I know you
Yeah.
shouldn't, don't put me in a box,
But you should when it comes to
but,
streaming.
like, sometimes I think it can help,
Yeah.
so I
I
think it might
yeah.
help just to have that genre.
Yeah, and I've talked like to other people that has been on the podcast. We've been talking like variety versus like having a genre to play around in,
Mhm,
and I think
mhm,
like the thing we can all agree about is that it is easier to grow if you stick within a genre. Like if you do like
mhm,
me, just jump around with everything, people don't know what they're gonna expect. But
mhm.
if you stay and do like you do horror, you do Dead by Daylight too, which
Uh,
has an amazing community, and like
oh,
people know that, yeah, they know kind of what to expect. They get you plus
mhm.
horror, and like that's a great recipe, I think.
I will say though, I love the variety streamers. Like,
Yeah.
but like I just love seeing what games you guys are playing because the games that I have never heard of. And
Yeah.
like I saw you play a game called Ooblets, which looked so like
Oh, yeah.
interesting and cute. And like I never would have found that myself. And like I've got that on my Steam wish list
Yeah.
now. And I love seeing all of the different games. Like there's another streamer I follow who plays a lot of visual novels, and
Yeah.
it's like it's gorgeous. It's stuff I never would find because I am in that box.
Yeah.
So I do love the variety.
You can always break out of the box in the future, but I'm happy that you managed to find a box that you feel comfortable in, because that can be really rough, you know, to find your own place and your own niche, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you found that quick, and it's been going really well.
I just love being spooked.
Yeah.
So fun.
That is true. Now we're checking some other things. Now, what has happened to some streamers that started streaming during the pandemic is that they had to go back to work. How has that affected your ability to stream?
I was furloughed in May, and then I came back at the very end of July. So it was 3 months of furlough, and now I'm back at work. So really, I just had to change my schedule. So I used to stream in the early afternoon. So I'd stream from like 1:30 to 5, I think is what it was. So I would be streaming for like 4 hours, and now I have to stream after work. So it's also shortened my stream time. So I usually only stream for about 2.5 hours. The only thing is I'm still working from home.
Yeah.
So once we start going back into the office, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm going to have to figure out, do I just stream on the weekends? Do I try to leave work early? Like, how can I, because I really enjoy streaming. Like it's been like the very nice, like the light in the darkness when it's like lockdown. It's like, oh, I get to talk to people, I get to hang out. So right now, it's only affected it that in the sense that I have to change my schedule. I still stream the same days, but once I start going back into the office and I actually have to work events, I'm gonna have to like seriously, I think, sit down and like make a schedule every week that might be different. So I don't know how it's gonna look when that happens, but
yeah, I think it's really cool that you're not just like giving up on it. Like you really found something here that you enjoy. You made a community, and I think it's
fun.
Yeah, I think it's sad that some people might like be forced to stop, but I've been in situations like where I've been working and stuff, and I've been like, oh shit, what about the stream? And like I couldn't do 8 hours anymore, obviously. But I always made sure, like, for me, I was like, okay, I have to do 4 streams a week at least, and they should be 4 hours. They can be any day where I feel like it, as long as I do that. And that kind of worked, because if you have a passion for something, you will find time and energy to do it. So I think that those that have to go back to work now, like, yeah, it's gonna suck, and you won't be able to stream for as long as you did, but there will always be like time for it in some capacity.
And it might be you just like literally sit down and like write out a schedule every week. Like I can't stream this day. I can't stream this day. So I'm going to have to do this and this. Like, we make it work.
Yeah. I think so too. Now, now we're going to go into the fun thing also. And we're going to talk about your high point and low point in streaming.
Golly, I feel like I'm always hitting a new high point.
Yeah.
Like we had a big so I did a big drinking stream last week because we hit 300 followers, and then we hit 350 like the next week, which crazy. And I guess I would call that kind of a high point because I got so drunk, Kitty. Like I just got very drunk.
Yes, you're talking to me. I know how it is to be drunk on stream.
So I would just say that's kind of a high point because I felt so safe doing it. Like I felt like I would never get drunk on a on a live streaming thing. I would not get drunk on because like I don't know what I'll say. And like everyone was so supportive and just so, like, wholesome, and
Yeah.
I'm over here like, "I don't know what we're doing, I'm taking a volleyball shot," and they're like, "Oh, it's okay, Donut, it's okay," and it was like, "Oh my god, you guys." So that was just so cool, like, seeing people come together and, like, hang out and not make me feel, like, unsafe for, like, getting drunk on, like, a live stream. It was awesome, but, like, as far as a low point, I don't know, like, maybe I haven't hit rock bottom yet. I do
No.
find myself getting into those I do find myself getting into those headspaces, though, where I start comparing myself to other
Mhm.
streamers, and I start getting a little competitive, but then I have to reel
Do you want
myself
to know
in and be like, "No,
something?
yeah," and I'm like,
Yeah.
we're not here to compete, we're here to,
Yeah.
like, love and support one another." So I do get into that, like,
Mhm.
every once in a while, and I'm like, "No, I'm not," like, I just have to try to talk myself like, "No, it's not a competition, we like, it's literally playing video games, like, for fun with people, like, you
Yeah.
don't have to compete about that."
Yeah.
And
Even
so
I get
I
that. And actually
yeah, and
with
it's
you. Because sometimes I'm like,
no!
yeah, I'm like, damn, Spirit is doing so well. What am I doing wrong? But sometimes it's
Mhm.
not about what you do wrong. And I'm like, why do I think
No.
like this? Like, I'm obviously super happy for you and I enjoy
Mhm.
watching your streams and your content. But my head is
Mhm.
like, well, she's doing a lot better than you little idiot.
Yeah, it's
So,
that
and
little voice. Ugh.
it's so dangerous because as you say we support each other
Mhm.
and stuff. It's not a competition because we're all doing
Yeah.
our own races.
Mhm.
So but yeah, it's good that you've like recognized that it's just like this weird
Yeah.
head thing. It's not real. Like
Mhm.
would you, maybe other new streamers are also struggling with that, would you have some advice
Yeah.
for new streamers that have that issue?
Honestly, I just say, like, try to recognize when you're doing it, and as soon as you recognize it, try changing the narrative. So if you are watching someone else's stream and you're like, "Gosh, she's got 1,000 followers," like, well, why is she like, she's just so much better than me. Like, as soon as
Yeah.
you feel yourself talking negatively about yourself, just pause and, like, take a moment and then start talking about things you do like. Like, well, look, I really like the things I talk about on stream. I like the people in my chat. I like the games that I play.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't it really doesn't have to be a competition. And then,
Yeah.
like, if you want, like, analyze what that person is doing and then see if there's a way you can implement it. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel myself getting that, like, little jealous bug every once in a while, like, "God, how'd they get so many followers?" I'm like, "You know, no, like, I love that I have the chance to, like, get to talk to everyone who comes in on my
Yeah.
stream." And so, yeah, I think it's just, if once you recognize you're doing it, just pause and talk a little bit about what you like about, like,
Yeah.
yourself and your stream, and then
Yeah, and I have some extra
uplift and
advice on
love.
that.
Mhm.
It's that when you start to feel bad about that stuff too, it might mean that you don't have enough in your life to feel happy about. Because
Mm.
the times in my life that I get those weird head thingies about streaming is when I haven't like worked out properly, I haven't had
Oh,
any news
yeah.
regarding work, I haven't been hanging out with people. This pandemic, I can't. So it's like
Yeah.
it's really important to have a lot of things like working for you because otherwise your brain is gonna be like, if you only have one thing, like sometimes I only have the
Mhm.
stream, and
Mhm.
then of course your brain is gonna sometimes be like, hey, this is the only thing you care about. Why shouldn't you do this better? And it's like, yeah, it's
Mhm.
so lame. I hate
Yeah,
it.
so, like, maybe get up and, like, go for a walk once
Yeah,
you feel yourself,
exactly.
like, going down, like, just try to break it up, that, like, that thought.
Yeah, because then you have something else to be like proud of too. So everything
Mhm.
shouldn't have to ride or die on the stream going well or not. Because then I have
Mhm.
some days like if I have like a bad stream, I can get super depressed. And it's
Oh,
so
no,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah, because this isn't the stream's fault. Like, oh, people didn't come by. Yeah, they were busy. Like it was a
Mhm.
busy this day for my regulars. It's not
Mhm.
their fault and I shouldn't like put that kind of pressure on me or on the stream. Like it's up to
Yeah.
myself, to be happy and
Mhm.
stuff, and you shouldn't have to rely on your
And
stream to do that, I think.
at the end of the day, like, we're all streaming because like, hopefully we're all streaming because we have fun and
Yeah,
we like
exactly.
the games. But
But
no,
some
I get
yeah.
that, and I want you to know you're doing a great job, I
Thank
think.
you. But it's
Your
like
streams are always really fun to come by.
yeah.
And I'm like, "Guys, she named a dragon after you named a dinosaur after
Yeah,
me in Ark." And I'm
Pteranodon.
like, "Guys, Kitty, like, I'm in Kitty's game. Like,
Yeah,
go
that's
look."
a really fun channel point thing, so people can name
Oh, I
it.
love that one. Ugh,
Yeah. Okay, and now I also have another question. What is
okay.
your like best moment in streaming? I know that I just asked like high point and low point, but now this is like your absolute best streaming
Moment.
memory. Your best
Oh
streaming
god.
memory.
I think it might be, like, the first time someone gifted a sub to my channel because, like, I I used to be in the mentality where I'm like, "Oh, it's like, I'm gonna pay money to watch someone on Twitch." Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna do that. Like, why would I pay money? Like, I'll just stick with channel points and the free things. And then someone like, I mean, I've changed a lot from
Yeah.
that. I subscribe to a lot of people.
Yeah, you subscribe to me, for example.
Oh, yeah, I freaking love your channel, of course. So the first time, like, subscribing even became an option, and then,
Yeah.
like, the fact that you can like, you gifted it, so, like, it's not even something you are getting for yourself, you are gifting, like, you're gifting access for someone else because
Yeah.
you, like the stream that so much, like, the the first time I got 5 gifted subs, I remember I was playing The Last of Us, and I got 5 gifted subs. It was from you you hated the channel, you
Yeah.
hated me, and then who was it? Someone
The,
came from
yeah.
your trade.
It was Sikoshika who has
Yes,
gifted me a ton of subs during the years. So
she
she's
like, the very first person who gifted, like, subs to my channel, and it was 5 of them, and I was
yeah.
like, she was like, "No, like, keep playing, like, don't let it throw you off," and I was like, "Well, it did throw me off." So,
But I actually
yeah,
think that's really sweet with you too. That you get super excited when people are like subscribing and following, and you should be like that. You should
it blows
like,
my
yeah, exactly. I think that was really sweet.
Yeah, and I remember I, like, texted everyone I knew. I got
Aw.
off stream and I was like, someone gifted 5 subs to my channel," and she doesn't really get Twitch, so she's
Yeah.
like, "I don't know what that means, but congratulations, honey." I'm like, "Thanks, mom."
Aw. That's so sweet that you have such a supporting mother too, because you have like channel points that you're supposed to call her. She seems like even though she doesn't know a lot about your stream, she's very
No.
like involved in the stream.
I know, so I was trying to think of something, like, silly and, like, what's something that I can do, like, something that's kinda personal to me, and I'm like, like, it always happens. It's the funniest thing. In any friend group I'm in, I always end up talking about my mom somehow, like, sharing a story, and everyone's always like, "Your mom is so cool, like, can your mom join our friend group?" And it's like, "No, guys." So I was just like, "You know what? Everyone always loves my mom. Let's have an option to where they can call her." And she started to, like, whoever redeems it, I usually say, "Hey, mom," like, "Kittyliciousofficial says hello," and she'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Kitty," and so she started to get to, like, know names. So she's
Aw.
like, "Snack, I've heard that name before." Like, "Oh, is that corpses person you talked to?" And I'm like, "Yeah, mom." Like,
That's so sweet.
you know?
I
So, yeah,
like
she's
that.
cool. She's cool.
Yeah. Is there anything you feel that I forgot to ask you? That you
No,
feel like,
not
hey,
that
I know about this thing, I want to talk about it.
so I feel like I'm still figuring out Twitch. Like, I don't know. I just really like it, and a lot of people come into my stream and they're like, "Oh, you're so nice and wholesome," and I don't know, that makes me like, I
Yeah.
want to be like I wanna be like a safe, like, comfort space people can come to. Like, I had someone message me after The Last of Us Part 2 on Instagram saying that, like, they were just going through something and they really enjoyed coming by for those streams because it really helped them out, and, I hear too many stories of people who don't feel like they are enough or they don't feel
Yeah.
like they have that light, so I try to make sure that everyone who comes by, like, even if they don't like, I just like to make sure that everyone feels valued and, like,
Yeah.
important, like, that's my biggest thing is just you hear too many stories of people who don't feel that, and so if
Yeah,
we can,
exactly.
like, chat with them on Twitch and
Yeah. I
be
try
that
to
little
do the
bit of, like
same. And now I'm
mhm.
getting a collab idea right now. Okay, it's growing, but I will take that afterwards. But yeah, I think it's time now for chat to ask their questions. We have one from Kate. She's wondering if Twitch has helped your self confidence.
I think it has, for sure, like, I'm not good at public speaking, first off, so I feel like I get practice just talking to myself and, like, talking to you guys, like, I just get that more, like, comfortable, like, which makes me more comfortable in myself, but, like, I didn't really know a lot of people who gamed, so I'd
Yeah.
always feel weird talking about, like, "Oh, hey, guys, you wanna hear about this game?" Like, "No?" Like, "Okay, it's fine," like, whatever, and now I'm like, "Guys, have you heard of this?" Like, I don't know, I just feel more, like, confident talking about things that I know other people like because we do talk about them.
Because I remember seeing like a big shift in your stream and your persona, or like not your persona, your personality. I remember coming by your stream pretty early, and you didn't have that many people watching, and you were playing Dead by Daylight, and there were things happening, and you weren't really like reacting. You were more like autopiloting. And then I checked like 1 or 2 weeks later, and man, you were reacting to everything. You were like, da, 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 da. It was so cool to see that.
I just feel so much more comfortable, like you know, the experience when you keep doing it, and you're like, oh, people like. They're not being mean.
Yeah.
Like, this is nice.
But because that's what I like to do also with people that I've kept an eye on during the years. I like to come back once in a while and be like, man, they updated their like stream station. They have like new art and shit, nice. And I'm like, oh, they feel a lot more comfortable talking. And then I'm like, dude, I make sure to tell them that so they know that, hey, I've done an improvement. So I wanted to make sure to tell you that. Also, so that you... Yeah, but it was just really cool to see that just from one stream to like a couple of weeks later, you were just like a completely different person. Almost like you were so confident. You were having fun with it. Yeah, it was really cool. And Kate is wondering if you get the fear before going live.
Oh my god! Like always, my heart's always pounding. Like hitting that go live button. No, I still get anxious a little bit. Like. I go, okay, well, I hope it's going to be a good day. Like, I hope no one crazy comes in chat. But then you got to fall back on that. Like, well, I've got good moderators. I've got good people in chat. No, I do definitely still get that, like, feeling before I click that button.
And Brosard is wondering, are there any aspects of your work that you believe streaming has helped you with professionally?
I guess I'd go back to that, like, kind of public speaking. Like, it's not always public speaking necessarily. Like, it's just speaking up in meetings too that I like get so anxious about.
Have you been able to do that now?
Oh my
god, that's
so I've had to like lead a couple of staff meetings, like virtual staff meetings, and I've talked a little bit about like the stream too, and I think it's helped a little bit, like knowing that the webcam is not a scary thing. I can do that. But no, it just it has helped a lot, I think. Just learning that my voice matters more, I guess.
Oh, that's sweet. Your voice mattered before too, damn it. You're gonna make me cry.
It just helps me affirm that, you know?
Yeah.
But also, Kate, I loved her podcast episode. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Do we have any more questions also? I saw that... I think I saw someone here in chat. Yes, Stud Muffin is here now too. Probably saying hi.
I love Stud. She's a mod.
Yay!
She's a mod with my channel.
Yes, and I follow her.
It's awesome.
Bro Stud wants to know, how do you do your hair?
God, okay, so it's been a whole thing. I feel like I gotta adjust for this. So.
Yeah, and also you have curly hair, which is very, very different from other kinds of hair.
I'm so glad you asked this because I talk about my hair. Like, I love to talk about hair to people, but no one ever asks about it. Yeah. So my curly hair journey started like a year and a couple months. I used to always kind of straighten it. Yeah. And then I heard about the curly girl routine that you can do. I follow this subreddit. It's like r/curly hair. So I wash my hair once a week. I've got to wash it today, actually. Yeah. I use a no sulfate, like not a lot of chemicals in it, shampoo. And then I do conditioner. I wash like 80% of the conditioner off, and then I try to leave like 20% in. Oh. And then while my hair is still like dripping wet, I put some curl activator cream. I'd have to look at the brand, but it's an orange bottle. I put some cream all over it. I try to get the roots because those are like the straightest part. Then I put some hair gel, and then I wrap it in a microfiber towel for like 15 minutes. Oh my God. And then if I need to diffuse it, I'll diffuse it and try from the roots and then get to the lower, but I'll have my like head upside down. But if I just air dry it, then I will like crunch out the gel with a cotton t-shirt because cotton reduces the frizz. Oh. And so then I just crunch it, and then I will put water in it every few days and like kind of crunch it again to like rehydrate it. But it's a whole thing. It's a whole...
Yeah, it sounds like quite a project, and I like it. And I'm so happy that you feel confident to just do it like that and that you don't straighten it, because it looks like, as Kate says, it looks so good. It looks really, really nice. I love it.
I'm like, I try to talk to people about it, but they're like, I don't like, okay, it's hair. And I'm like, no, it's a whole thing. Like, I'm down there like a hole. Like, I use Reddit so much, the curly hair sub. Like, it just...
Yeah. I have quite a routine also, because I bleached it to death and I'm trying to make it not die completely. So I feel you on that thing.
That's fun. And I'm trying to grow my hair out a little bit, to be honest. It's a little short. Like, this is the longest it's been in years, actually. But I think I want to get everything to this like length, and then maybe add some bangs. I don't know. I don't know.
I love how it looks. And Kate is wondering, can we all play Among Us together?
Yes, that's kind of sus, actually.
A bit sus there.
Oh, yes, I love Among Us. It's so fun, and we could totally play it.
Yeah, we just need to find a time that works for everyone. Luckily, I can stay up very late because I don't have anything to wake up for. And Sis is wondering, how do you always stay so calm in your streams? I mean, when bad stuff is constantly going on, you never start screaming.
When I say calm, honestly, and this is one point I'm actually not sure I like too much, is that I always default everything to humor. So I don't know what it is. Like, anytime something scary bad happens, I feel like if you just talk about like what's happening, like, oh, that guy over there is like kind of trying to kill me, like, not today, so like, oh no, an explosion just went off. Oh, like, if you just talk about it, you can just kind of go off of it and like start laughing. But I don't know that I like that too much, to be honest, because I've done like haunted houses before.
Oh shit.
And I never get super scared because I'm always like, I'm going back to that humor. But like it's very conflicting because I want to be scared, but at the same time I'm like canceling out the like scary things by making jokes.
Yeah.
So I don't scream because I'm making fun of it. Usually I heckle because that's
I
my
agree
default.
with you. I do something similar, and Kate is like, that's how I feel about being scared too. Like, I want to be scared. Like, jump scares I can do, but I can't get scared in games really. Sometimes I manage to get a bit immersed. That new Ghost game though, I think I would be able to be scared there. That seems fucking horrifying.
I get so immersed in that one. Oh yeah. Then I start like heckling the ghost, and then that like takes me out of it. So it's a whole like self-sabotage. Like, I want to be immersed and I want to get scared and scream, but I take myself out of it because it's like,
I think that if I played it without streaming, I would probably be able to be immersed and not make jokes about it. But when I stream, it's more because you also think like, oh shit, I'm streaming, so I need to behave. Like, you subconsciously are just gonna do things that will make you look the best, I guess. So you will just joke about it because it's like, it's very unbecoming of me to just be scared right now, so I'm gonna joke around instead.
I know, I do the same thing.
Yeah, and horror games that are more existential freak me out way more. The ones that fuck with your head. Yeah, those I agree with Kate there.
About the existential ones, the ones that like make you question everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's really nice. Do we have any other questions from people? Like, I'm just happy that people have questions for once. This became good question stream, not scream.
I was like, Mom, come throw me softball questions. Like, ask my favorite color. But
what's your favorite color? I'm your mom now.
Purple. My favorite color is purple. I love it.
Purple. Nice. That's a good show.
College color.
Kate is wondering if you're single.
I am not. No.
I didn't know this, actually.
I don't talk about my personal life a lot. I've always been really like, I've literally always been this weird like a headspace with me. Like, I want to be seen as an individual. That's why I never like talk about, like, I don't bring it up a lot just because I really struggle with like, am I seen as Spiritdonut like with a boyfriend, or am I seen as Spiritdonut as an individual? So that's why I never like talk about it a lot. But no.
Do you also worry that some people will like stop watching because you have a boyfriend?
I've heard that's a legitimate thing, that as soon as like some people come out and they say that they're in a relationship, they lose like a lot of followers. But at the same time, if I'm gonna lose someone who's watching me because they think they have a chance, that's not who I want in my channel.
No, exactly.
No. So no, I just don't talk about it a lot because I want to be
Yeah,
seen as an individual, and I want to be
exactly.
seen as someone outside of that. But if at the same time, if I lose a following because of this
Yeah.
crazy announcement, like it's fine.
And if you're unlucky, you can have like with Kate, for example, where they like her husband more than her. So,
Oh no,
but
that's so funny.
yeah, but I think it's really nice. Like that's a really nice point of view to have. Like I want them to see me as an individual. Like, come on.
That's why I don't like, even on my own personal like social media pages, I don't post a lot of photos. Like
Yeah.
it looks like it's just me mostly, like because I don't know. It's just I've always struggled with that. Like I'm my own person, and I don't like people who like put you in a box because they find out like one small detail about you. But
Yeah. Sorry, I got
yeah.
distracted by chat.
No,
It's
it's
popping
okay.
off. Bros has
Oh my
said
god,
it's a real thing. Unfortunately, it's part of
it
parasocial
is.
relationship issues that come with streaming. And yeah, because people are like they get attached in a really weird way, and I think I get attached to other streamers too. Like even like if I was watch, but when I watch streamers, I don't really mind if they have a relationship. There are some streamers that I like more because they have like a relationship I can really look up to. I'm like, man, I also want to find a streamer one day. Oh, how has your partner like reacted to you streaming? Do have this been positive or?
I've been very supportive. So the inside scoop, the reason I'm
Yeah.
like on the floor in my streams is because I'm not actually at my apartment. I'm at their apartment because I didn't want to be in the pandemic alone.
Yeah.
So if you see someone moving like in the background a lot, that's
It's not
usually
a
him.
ghost.
No, it's not a ghost.
Have
I
people
mean,
asked that during?
EMF 3.5. Oh no.
Have people asked that during streams? Like, is that a ghost?
Yeah. And I just joke it off, but no, it's him, and he's been really sweet and supportive. Like it's a 1 bedroom apartment, so he like works over at his desk, and
Yeah.
I put on like earbuds because I'm loud.
Yeah. I
But
feel
no,
you.
he's really supportive. So he's got his Twitch Prime account, and he's subscribed to my channel, so we're
Oh,
good.
that's so sweet. You need to find yourself a partner that's willing to fucking Twitch Prime you. That's very important. If it's not
I
willing
mean,
to do that, then it's nothing.
if we don't get the Twitch Prime sub, then what's the point of
Yeah,
this relationship?
exactly.
You know, like
Why do you think I'm
why
polyamorous?
why even do this? Like
Yeah. I'm only poly so I can have more people Twitch Primes.
you
It's the
gotta
pros.
collect them.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I'm like, I need to get to 100 subs. Time to start dating. Ever Aqua is she's standing you though, even boyfriend or no. She's just stan. And Kate is wondering, do you find it hard to differentiate between viewers you like or people you want to be friends with?
I do struggle with that because everyone comes in and like I just want to like I want to get to know them all, but at the same time I'm like that's a lot of people. Like I don't think I can handle
Yeah.
that many friendships, but I do like to get to know about everyone, but I do struggle to like that line of like who is someone that is a viewer and who is someone that like wants to be a friend or like
Yeah. Because
so
sometimes
no, I do
people are
struggle.
like, yeah, some people wants to like DM and stuff, and I'm always clear like, if someone has
Oh
issues,
yeah,
DM me, do it, I will
yeah.
help. But also,
Yeah.
you have a Discord, I have a Discord. If people want to interact with the streamer, the best way is like, just talk on the Discord. They usually reply.
There's a lot of ways to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of, it gets good.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know I don't know like how to solve that problem, but no, I do.
Yeah.
I don't like gray area, and it's always like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, exactly. Because some people they get a bit like they start to ask too much almost, and I don't know. It can be kind of tricky. And it was apparently something Kate struggled with a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, if Kate has an answer, like knows how, like,
And also,
yeah, she
welcome
knows
Devil
how to-
Dragon. Welcome to the stream. We are currently
Oh,
talking.
Dragon.
Yeah, we're currently talking about how to differentiate between viewers that is viewers or the ones you want to be friends with. I can't even talk anymore.
I know, way so hard.
Yeah, and Kate did touch on that in her episode.
Okay. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. I was there for it, but like I was like I'm still stuck on the guy who wrote that awful article. Like I I want you to know, when you shared the link in the comments of that, I commented on the article, like, from my own personal, like, I did, and I was like, wow, this is so embarrassing, like, embarrassing for the author and the publisher, like, this is a terrible article, and you should be embarrassed, and that's, like, I still can't get over that, so.
Kate is saying that you're too sweet, and I'm wondering, does anyone else have questions or stuff like that? Otherwise, we are gonna move on to the self-promotion.
Oh my god, I don't even know what to self-promote.
Your channel and your Twitter and all your socials. So, is there any... Now we've gotten to the end. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Oh my god, so many people, like, all of you guys here. Like, you mentioned Eva Aqua, and she is one who I started, like, she's... I don't know, I started watching her stream when I first started, and you were talking about variety stream. Like, she is one who streams, like, all of these visual novels that I literally would never in my life have heard of or found, and so she's one I also, like, really look up to. Her and you both, like, really variety of it.
Yeah.
But gosh, I just kind of want to thank everyone who's, like, hanging out with us, and... Like, I don't know. Thank my mom for, like, letting me call her on stream. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you should probably thank your mom.
Thanks, Mom. Call her. Thanks for letting me stream.
Yeah. Okay, so where can people find you?
People can find me at twitch.tv/Spiritdonut on Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I never update Facebook. I don't know if that's even, like, worth it. But
anymore?
I don't know. Like, the only reason I made a Facebook page was so I could join, like, groups for Twitch streamers as the page. That way I wouldn't have to post and comment from my personal account. I could do it from the page. But I can't even get that to work.
Okay.
Like, so it's a whole thing. Like, it'll let me join in as, like, other pages I manage professionally, but it won't let me join in as my... I'm so irritated with it. That's why I'm so, like, on my soapbox. But yeah, so I stream usually Monday through Friday. Oh god, around 5 p.m. Pacific to, like, 7 Pacific. And yeah, I'm on the Twitter, I'm on the Instagrams.
You can find her there. Yes. But okay, then I want to thank you so much for being here. It's been a joy, and I'm really happy that you said yes. And
oh no, I'm so glad that you invited me. Like, that is so sweet. Thank you.
No worries. I'm really bad at saying goodbye, and you know this, so.
Okay, we won't say goodbye because we'll see each other again. We'll just say see you later.
Yeah, we will do that. Okay, see you later.
We'll see you later.
Bye. I said bye anyway. God damn it. God damn it, I said bye anyway, chat.